Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Think Future. My name's Chris Kalaboukis, and once again, we're coming at you live from deep in the heart of Silicon Valley, California. We're talking innovation, startups, the future, not necessarily those, and not necessarily in that order. If you're watching on YouTube, smack that subscribe button and hit that bell so you'll be notified when a new show comes online. And if you're listening on your favorite podcast service, please subscribe and please drop a note on Apple Podcasts. I greatly appreciate it. And don't forget my latest book, 9 Rules from the Future, a plan, 9 Rules for the Future. I can't even read it, and it's right in front of my face. A plan for humanity by me and ChatGPT. That's right, folks. ChatGPT and I wrote a book together. I think I told you in a previous show this week that I got some interesting feedback on it. So if you have any feedback for me, just go to 9rulesbook.com and drop it in there. Or if you want to grab a copy, it's on Amazon, $5, pretty cheap. I mean, who can get a paperback book for $5 now? Huh? Nobody. It's all about the future and how we can do better as humans. So, what were we talking about today? Oh yeah, comfy zones. Comfy zones. Everyone loves their little comfy zone, don't they? They love sort of sitting down and relaxing and maybe putting a blanket on and have your phone in your lap and just like being fed. Yum, 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 yum. So like Brave New World, and where, everyone says we live in 1984, but I think we live in Brave New World, more in Brave New World, where everyone is addicted to Soma, which is this drug, right? And we have Soma right now. It is our phones. Our phones are basically Soma. These things feed us day in, day out with information, and a lot of times we don't even question it. We just like, what do you call it, scrolling zombies or something like that. So we sit in these zones, away from people, away from everybody, slowly losing our ability to communicate with others, unless it's through the phone. And we're feeling more and more disconnected from other people, which is probably not very good. Although people say that human beings are social animals. I think what's happening is a lot of times lately, especially after COVID and lockdowns and all these social distancing and everything moving to being online and remote, is that we've really lost our sense of camaraderie, our sense of being connected to other human beings, our joy at being within a tribe and within a group, physically within a tribe and within a group. I mean, it's very different from being online. Very, very different from being online. But we've all been relegated to that. I know meetups used to be huge. And now most of these meetups are online, and you can't get as many people to show up to your meetups because it's so easy to not show up. I mean, I think we need to go back to where we were before, but I think what's happened is that people have become ensconced in their little tiny comfort zones because they feel that the entire world can come to them, or they can call the entire world to them. I don't even need to leave the house. I can just order my food online, order my groceries online, order everything online. Anything can come to my door. I never even need to leave the house. I can even get a remote job. I can work remotely. I can do this. I can sit in my comfy zone for the rest of my life and never need to interact in person with another human being ever again. And I can see how some people out there might find this really compelling. They go, wow, this is great, because you know what? Hell is other people. Whenever I deal with other people, it always turns out bad. It's always a problem. So it's even better if I just sit between me, myself, and I and have this amazing sort of intentional communication thing going on where I only talk to people when I want to talk to people and when they want to talk to me. It's intentional at all times. There's no such thing as an unintentional conversation. There's no such thing as a serendipitous conversation. Every conversation has to be designed and booked. There's nothing spontaneous about it anymore. So we're all falling into these comfy zones, which are super comfy. Oh, yes, they're comfy. We never want to leave these comfy zones because they're so comfy. It's unfortunate, though, that the world is not comfy. The world is not a comfy place. In fact, if you think about it, nature is brutal. It's a brutal place. And we live in these little comfy bubbles, these little comfy zones that have no connection or no relation to the world or other people. We have disconnected ourselves from each other. What have we become in this human race? This bubble society. I can't even think of any science fiction authors who've ever come up with where we are today. I mean, there's plenty who've talked about things like this, but nothing really close to it. This bubble society where we are so afraid of things that are not completely in line with what we want, that if we see anything like that, we're so totally jarred by it that we're shocked and appalled and triggered. That's not what humans are all about. Humans are learning sponges. We're supposed to be open to these new things. Instead, we're closed in our little bubbles and are only fed what we like to see, what we like to read, what we want. And sometimes there's a little bit of manufactured outrage so we can get more people to look at more things. But where is the humanity in all this? We are stuck in these little comfy zones. And we don't do anything outside of these zones. We've become this society of tiny little people in their little zones, not wanting to hear alternative opinions or different ideas, or even do something other than what we've been doing all this time. Where is the innovation? Where is the juxtaposition? Where is the serendipity when we're just sitting in our zones, not talking to anybody, not seeing anybody, just doing it through these screens? You know, you've probably heard this before, but what is it? 80-90% of communication is non-verbal. Non-verbal. It is visual and physical. So when we get on these calls with each other, when we separate ourselves by these machines and put ourselves through these tunnels, we are only getting a fraction of the experience that we would get if we were in person. So I say we really need to stop sitting in our comfy zones all day, all night, enjoying ourselves. We need to give ourselves, we need to challenge ourselves. We need to break ourselves out of these zones and interact with other people in person. We need to interact with other people and other places in person. We need to get out of our comfy zones. And if we get out of our comfy zones, only then can we actually grow. Only when we've been challenged with new things, only when we can see new things, only when we can meet new people, only when we can meet people that we know face to face, physically proximal, can we truly break out of our zones and do something new and different and innovative. If you stay in your zone, where are you going to go? Where are you going to be? If you stay in your protective bubble, you're just going to be comfy all the time. And you know what? I don't think the human race was designed to be all comfy all the time. We were designed to learn. We were designed to grow. We were designed to expand. We were designed to be better than we are. So be better than you are. Get out of your comfy zone. Communicate with people. Talk to people. Go to new places. Do new things. Physically move from your comfy zone outside of your comfy zone. Because as soon as you get outside of your comfy zone, then all sorts of amazing things will happen. You'll see. You'll see. It might be uncomfortable, but if you ask me, innovation comes out of things that are uncomfortable. If things aren't uncomfortable, then you probably aren't doing or thinking anything new and different and amazing and growth related for yourself. That's it for me for today. See you next time, and until then, don't forget to think future.